Red Edition, welcome, happy day. There is a woman, she was drunk as a duck, and she lives in South Carolina, and the police come up and they charge her for impaired driving, and guess what she was driving? A motorized child's little toy thing that she couldn't find a car to get into, so she got into this little motorized toy truck. Down the road she went, Power Wheels truck is what it's called. Good for her for being creative, and maybe good for the police for catching that bad criminal person. Hey, if you're too young to purchase a handgun or you have some other issue that prevents you from doing that, you want to protect your life, what do? You have some limitations, right? Particularly for women. It's a real issue, right? They don't have the body strength to fend off somebody with a bunch of strength, like a bad guy, a potential rapist or someone else. So guns aren't an option for all women. So what do you need? What else can you do? You know what? There's all kinds of things, but knives and clubs and mace guns and people in Congress and in Canada, people in their legislation and legislate blah, 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 they don't get it, right? They just kind of think if you get raped or you get beat up, don't worry, we'll get better counselors to kind of spend time with you, right? Wow, they should be preventive, and there's a whole long list of things that we're going to provide to you pretty soon in the future that'll show people how to defend their lives. I mean, the government should have no business to tell you how to do that. And in terms of guns, kind of that's the ultimate thing. That's a great equalizer. You know what? Many people who don't have a gun, it's not because of the government. It's not because the law is preventing them. It's because of fear that the press has given them. Blah, blah, blah. Not great grammar, but I think you get it. And so they need to be educated that, hey, there's nothing wrong with having a gun. Just know how to use it. That'd be kind of nice. The idea from the government, at least from the left-wing government, not from the current government, of course, from the Republicans, but from government people often, and certainly from left-wing media press, is to push gun owners into silence. Just be quiet. And June is Gay Pride Month. It used to be a single week, but now it's expanded to an entire month. And here you got a guy that's saying, let's have Gun Pride Month. Why don't we do that in July? Every July we have Gun Pride Month. Kind of an interesting concept. We'll see where that goes. Maybe we'll hear more about it. Baseball. If you're not a baseball fan, maybe you're a money fan or just kind of a nostalgic person maybe, but here's Babe Ruth's New York Yankees jersey from 1928 to 1930, recently sold at an auction sale for $5.64 million US. Wow, that's a lot of dough. You know, he's still breaking records and he's been dead for a long time. The other record, the one that he broke, was on a jersey that sold from 1920 for $4,415,000. That was a couple of years ago. That was his too. I mean, wow. When you're breaking your old records, that's kind of cool. We have a proposed redesign of the Air Force One and Air Force Two. The president has stepped up and said, hey, I don't think the colors should stay like they are and the plane's 30 years old. I'm going to do a deal with Boeing, which he's done. He's negotiated the price. He's gotten it down like $1 billion or something. And of course, everyone on the left is mad. They say, well, hey, you can't change it. But it's been 30 some odd years, and why can't I? I mean, the colors don't really show what we are or who we are, red, white, and blue. That's kind of what we should be. Instead, it's just kind of a baby blue. And everyone is mad at him, and he's done all this work, all the designing of it. This guy, I don't think he sleeps. He's always busy. He's always doing something, and good for him. Here's a guy, former Sacramento Kings executive, Jeffrey David. He just recently got 7 years in prison for embezzling more than $13 million. 13 million smackaroo. That's a lot of dough, right? So how did he do that? Is he smarter than everybody else? Got 7 years in jail, but he's been doing it for many years. Many years. Don't they have auditors? They do, actually. So I think the auditors should go to jail, too. They should be with him in the cell. You see this all the time, right? I mean, how is it allowed to happen? Why have an auditor if they don't know how to audit? I'm always thinking of that Bernie Madoff, was that his name, if I'm saying that correctly? You know, years and years and years, maybe 20, whatever it was, billions of dollars, and the auditors, again, should be in jail with them. They came there, I believe, every month. So there's a whole bunch of incompetence going on, and the crooks, they kind of get to be crooked because it's pretty easy. Maybe make it a little bit harder and don't penalize us. Right for Canada is a website for all of you Canadian people, rightforcanada.ca. It's about your country. You have an election coming up in October of 2019. So come on over to the Right for Canada website and get influenced. Hey, see ya.